growing aquarium plants successfully. What are your options for aquarium substrates? Aquasoil, potting soil, and gardening soil are all good options for cultivating aquarium plants. Study. The aim of my study is to test which aquarium substrate is the best for growing aquarium plants fast and healthy. The following pictures shows how I set up my experiment. Firstly, I marked and cut my bottles. Then I added a 1.5 centimeter layer of aquarium substrate into each bottle. Then I added a 1 centimeter layer of aquarium gravel over each substrate to prevent it from floating up into the water column and polluting it. Then I planted my 3 pieces of Rotala hydra, all 5 centimeters long to 2.5 centimeters deep into each substrate. After that, I filled up my bottles with aquarium-safe water and placed it under the same light for a certain amount of time each day, and measured the length of the plants each week. Now, how did I measure the length of the plants, or the height? Firstly, the height of the bottle is 22.5 centimeters. If you subtract the 2.5 centimeters of the substrate and the gravel, you are left with an additional 20 centimeters. Then you need to measure the height from the top of the plant to the top of the bottle, or the length. How do you do that? You take a piece of split chart on a piece of string and lower it until it touches the top of the plant. After marking where it reaches the top of the bottle, you measure that length from the mark to the split chart and subtract that amount from 20 centimeters to get the height of your plant. So it's the height from the top of the plant to the top of the bottle subtracted from 20 centimeters to get the height of your plants. Now, in the second experiment, I used a better method for measuring my plants because the plants were growing skew, and to account for that, I used a tape measure and pushed them upright to ensure better results, which were more accurate. The following table shows my results of experiment 2, which had 3 plants planted in each substrate to ensure more accurate results. Pros and cons. Like any other thing, all aquarium substrates have their pros and cons. Aquasoil is very expensive but ensures good plant growth. Potting soil grows plants faster than aquasoil and is very cheap, only 21 Rand for 2 kgs, which is much more affordable. But it is a bit harder to use and requires more skill because it could float up into the water and ruin your aquarium. And gardening soil grows plants very well, but the growth will stunt or the plants will wither if the soil gets depleted of its nutrients and should be replaced every 3 to 6 months. Conclusion. The conclusion of my experiment is that potting soil is your cheapest substrate that ensures healthy aquarium plants. But obviously gardening soil is more cheap, or doesn't even cost you anything, but for the price, potting soil is the best for growing aquarium plants. Thank you for your time.